When you hear the word Porsche, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it speed? Is it the silhouette of the 911? Or is it a bill for an engine rebuild that costs as much as a Honda Civic? For years, the internet has been terrified of Porsche ownership. We've all heard the horror stories. The IMS bearings that explode without warning, the bore scoring that turns your cylinder walls into a cheese grater, the repair bills that make grown men cry. But that is only half the story, because hidden inside Porsche's history are specific models, specific years, and specific engines that were built not just to race, but to last forever. I'm talking about engines so over-engineered that 200,000 miles is just the break-in period. Today, we are ignoring the fragile garage queens. We are looking at the three most bulletproof, reliable, and forever-lasting Porsches ever built. One is a daily driver icon, one is a long-haul workhorse, and one is a race-bred legend that is literally impossible to kill. If you want a Porsche that you can hand down to your grandkids, you need to buy one of these three. Let's dive in. To understand our first pick, we have to talk about the Dark Ages. In the early 2000s, Porsche had a problem. The 996 and the early 997 generation 911s were plagued by the infamous intermediate shaft bearing, the IMS. It was a small ball bearing that, if it failed, would send metal shards through your engine, destroying it instantly. It was the Achilles heel of an otherwise brilliant car. But in 2009, Porsche decided they were done with Band-Aid fixes. They didn't just update the engine, they threw the old design in the trash and started over. Enter the 997.2 and the 9A1 engine. This is the car that saved the modern water-cooled 911. The 9A1 engine was a completely new design. The most important change? They deleted the intermediate shaft entirely. You cannot have an IMS failure if your engine doesn't have an IMS bearing. But they didn't stop there. This engine introduced direct fuel injection, DFI, to the 911 lineup. This meant better fuel economy, better throttle response, and significantly more power. A base Carrera went from 325 horsepower to 345 horsepower, and the S went up to 385. But we aren't here for horsepower, we're here for longevity. The 9A1 features a closed-deck crankcase. In plain English, the engine block is structurally much stiffer than the open-deck design of the previous generation. This drastically reduced the chance of cylinder ovaling and bore scoring, the other big nightmare of the previous era. The 997.2 is widely considered the Goldilocks 911. It still has the hydraulic steering that enthusiasts love, giving you actual road feel, but it has the modern reliability of a brand new car. We're seeing these engines hit 150,000, 180,000 miles with nothing but routine maintenance. Now, is it perfect? No car is perfect. The HPFP can fail, but that's a bolt-on part, not an engine-out catastrophe. The PDK transmission in these early years is generally stout, but if it breaks, it's expensive to replace rather than repair. However, if you want a quintessential Porsche 911, one that looks classic, drives like a sports car, but won't grenade its engine at a stoplight, the 2009 to 2012 997.2 is the one to buy. It is the beginning of the bulletproof modern era. Okay. Maybe you need more than 2 seats. Maybe you have a family, or a boat, or you just like to drive across the continent without stopping for gas. You want a Porsche that can do the work of a pickup truck but handle like a sedan. You want the Cayenne diesel, specifically the 958 generation. Now, I know what you're thinking. A diesel Porsche? That's sacrilege. But hear me out. This isn't any engine. This is the 3-liter V6 TDI. It's an engine block made of compacted graphite iron, CGI. This material is twice as strong as gray cast iron. It was built to withstand the immense pressures of diesel combustion. which means for normal driving, it is barely breaking a sweat. This engine was sourced from the Volkswagen Group Audi, which usually scares people, but in this application, it is a match made in heaven. We're talking about 406 pound-feet of torque. That is stump-pulling power. But the reliability stats are where this thing becomes a legend. It is not uncommon to see Cayenne diesels with 200,000, 250,000, or even 300,000 miles. Why do they last so long? Low RPMs. A Porsche 911 lives its life between 4,000 and 7,000 RPM. A Cayenne diesel cruises on the highway at 1,800 RPM. Less friction, less heat, less wear. The transmission is the Aisin 8-speed Tiptronic S. It's not a PDK, and that's a good thing. It's a traditional torque converter automatic. It's smooth, robust, and can handle the torque all day long without the complexity of a dual clutch system. There is a catch, of course. Modern diesels have complex emission systems. Add blue heaters, DPF filters, NOx sensors. These will fail eventually. But the engine itself, the pistons, the block, the crank, they are anvil tough. If you delete the emission systems, for off-road use only, of course, or simply maintain them properly, the core of this vehicle is a million-mile machine. It is the best daily driver Porsche has ever made, period.
So we've covered the daily driver and the workhorse. But what if you want performance? What if you want a race car engine that is also the most reliable engine Porsche has ever built? To find that, we have to look for one name, a name whispered with reverence at every Porsche meetup in the world: Hans Mezger. Hans Mezger was Porsche's legendary engine designer. He designed the flat six for the original 911. He designed the TAG turbo engine that won Formula One championships for McLaren. And in the late 90s, he designed an engine for the Porsche 911 GT1 Le Mans winner. Porsche, being the crazy engineers they are, took that Le Mans winning engine and stuffed it into the street cars, specifically the 996 Turbo, 996 GT3, 997 Turbo, and 997 GT3. This is the Mezger engine. While the standard 996 and 997 Carreras were suffering from IMS failures and cylinder scoring, the Turbo and GT3 models had none of those problems. Zero. The Mezger engine does not have an IMS bearing issue. It uses a true dry sump oil system with an external oil tank to ensure the engine is lubricated even under high G cornering on a racetrack. The crankcase is a two-piece design derived from the 964 air-cooled era. It is incredibly strong. These engines can handle 800, 900, even 1,000 horsepower with stock internals. In stock form, they are practically under-stressed. I have seen 996 turbos with 150,000 miles that have spent half their lives on a racetrack, and when you open the engine up, the cylinder walls still look brand new. The water cooling pipes are a known weak point. The glue can fail over time, causing coolant leaks. The solution is to weld or pin the coolant pipes. Once you do that, you have an engine that is virtually indestructible. This is why a 2004 911 Carrera costs $30,000, but a 2004 911 GT3 costs $130,000. You are paying for the Mezger tax. You are paying for the peace of mind of knowing that the heart of your car was born to win Le Mans, not just to drive to the golf course. Now, I promised you forever-lasting engines, but let's be real for a second. Even a Mezger or a diesel Cayenne will die a painful death if you treat it like a rental car. Reliability is a partnership between the engineer and the owner. If you buy one of these three cars, here is the secret sauce to making them last until the end of time. Rule number 1, the warm-up. Porsche engines, especially the flat sixes, hold a lot of oil. It takes time for that oil to get up to temperature. The water temp gauge on your dash is lying to you. It heats up fast. You need to wait for the oil temp to hit 180 degrees Fahrenheit before you rev it past 3,000 RPM. If you floor a cold Porsche, you are asking for bore scoring. Rule number 2, the intervals. Porsche might tell you that oil changes are good for 10,000 miles or 2 years. Do not listen to them.
They want to sell you a new car in 5 years. I want you to keep this one for 50. Change your oil every 5,000 miles or 6 months. It is the cheapest insurance you can buy. Rule number 3, drive them. This sounds counterintuitive, but the worst thing you can do to a Porsche is let it sit. Seals dry out, gas goes bad, moisture builds up in the crankcase. These cars were built to be driven. The highest mileage Porsches are often the most reliable because they are constantly circulating fluids and keeping the seals lubricated. Don't save the miles for the next guy. Drive the car. Porsche is a brand built on passion, but it's also built on precision. They've had their missteps, every manufacturer has, but when they get it right, they build machines that defy the concept of planned obsolescence. The 997.2 gave us the modern, worry-free 911 experience. The Cayenne diesel proved that a luxury SUV could work as hard as a truck, and the Mezger engines proved that race car engineering is the ultimate path to reliability. If you are looking to put your money into a Porsche, stop worrying about the horror stories. Pick one of these 3, treat it with respect, and I promise you it will return the favor for hundreds of thousands of miles. Which one of these would you take for a 200,000-mile road trip? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm more than you know. I'll see you in the next one. Drive safe.